I think it was one of the greatest experiences, so instrumental to us developing our company.
Just to testify that it's been one of the best experiences in my business career. 100% recommend it to anybody at any stage.
There is never not enough time for the Laine Business Accelerator.
My name is Tom Cullen, and I'm the director for the Laine Business Accelerator. Since the day we started this, our focus has been really on one thing: building out a vibrant entrepreneurial community in Cattaraugus County. Eric Laine was a visionary for Olean area, for Cattaraugus County, an entrepreneur through and through that so many people looked up to. He really helped develop a lot of other people, both in and outside of Cutco. When he unfortunately passed away, we knew as a community that we really should support and to honor him. What we're doing wouldn't be possible without the support of St. Bonaventure University. Through generosity, really by Jim Stitt and the Cutco Foundation, we were able to start the Laine Business Accelerator. That has led the way to creating this amazing space in the hub, the only co-working space in Cattaraugus County.
Jim and Eric were amazing business partners, but they're also best friends. And they also just had this shared vision of what Olean is and what it could be. Those two really created something incredibly special here in Olean.
It's in a central location downtown in the city of Olean. So it's really important to have collaboration in our community, especially in our community between Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. The mission of the Small Business Development Center is really to help one business at a time, from the idea stage, brainstorming, to opening that business and growing that business 5, 10, 20 years down the road. To work with the Laine Accelerator, it's right in line with our mission. It's where our foundation lies, because we want these people to be successful and we want to be able to give them every single tool we can to make sure that they're growing their business.
The best way to think about this is that we have three parts of a whole. We have the Innovation Center, we have the Olean Business Development Center, and we have JCC. They're pulling together for the Accelerator, because the Accelerator is our really sort of paramount moment, being able to say to the entire community that this can be done. It's a signal to the community that we can be better than you think we can be. The other thing about the Olean Business Development Center, I love the fact that our makerspace is called the Hub, because at the end of the day, the spokes on the wheel have to all meet into something, and that's the Hub.
Today is a big day. We're selecting the companies that are going to be in this cohort for the Laine Business Accelerator, where we get to call and welcome people into the next cohort. Just as we did last year, this year we have an amazing group of entrepreneurs that are coming together in this cohort to be a part of our entrepreneurial community. We feel like we're in the room on Selection Sunday for the NCAAs. We're excited about the outcome now, and we're going to call these companies. And we wanted to call and invite you to be part of this year's cohort.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. That is wonderful news.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm twice as pumped as you guys are.
It's been months of work from a lot of different people, from the Laine Business Development Corporation Board, JCC, St. Bonaventure University, other community members. The next few months for these businesses is going to be transformational in many regards.
Yay! Yippee!
Next step is definitely getting all these businesses in a room and getting them pumped up. They have to start being vulnerable so they can work together. Sitting down in a room and getting to know each other will be the most exciting and important part for the next few weeks in the Accelerator.
I accept your invitation.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We can't wait, Brooks.
We'll catch up very soon.
All right.
Bye, Brooks.
See you, dude.
My name is Parker Bray. I own Razor Bar Woodworks in Holland, New York. We specialize in custom woodworking and CNC machining with a focus in CNC machining. It's super important to me. I've always been the type to work with my hands, and I just excel in doing that kind of thing. So I just find a huge appreciation for this craft. It's usually involves getting up early in the morning, getting out to the shop, getting a project going, just kind of facilitate things as they come about. So I've had a pretty diverse customer base, which is pretty awesome. I've had local businesses, realtors giving closing gifts, a lot of gifts for weddings, anniversaries, things like that. I try to do a lot of B2B because, helping out other businesses is super important to me and I appreciate that kind of thing. I was in my shop actually when Palmer messaged me and he was like, hey, I gotta call you. I'm like, all right, hang on a second. So I shut everything down so I could actually hear what was going on. And then I joined the Zoom and they're like, hey, we got some good news for you. They finally broke the news, so I was super stoked.
My name is TJ Hulse. I own Wolfpack Storage, located in Allegheny, New York. Previously was living in Pittsburgh, PA for the last 5 or 6 years. Decided that this was a good turning point to be able to go out on my own and start my own business. I actually purchased the building and then built the storage with my father over the COVID-19 quarantine. What excites me most about storage in general is, even with the economy kind of going crazy, I just know that people, they want to have their belongings be safe when they are moving. As they relocate, downsize, upsize, whatever it might be, they need somewhere that they feel safe and secure that they can have their belongings, whether it's for 2 months or 2 years. First applying for the Accelerator, it really seemed like that was something that could kind of tie me back into the community and give me some support for what I was looking for to help accelerate and grow the business.
I'm Brittany Thierman. I'm the CEO of Neighborhood School of Dance here in Olean and Port Allegany.
And I'm Kylie, the assistant director of both studios as well.
The Neighborhood School of Dance was founded in 1976 by Michelle Marks. We've had various locations through the years, but it's kind of been down Union Street the whole time. I started dancing at Neighborhood when I was 5.
I started dancing there when I was 10 years old.
Our classes range from ages 18 months to adults. We have our Shining Stars program, tap, ballet, acro, jazz, modern, contemporary, point, hip hop, ballroom workshops, a wide variety of classes for anybody. I think Kylie and I talked about applying for the program because we found a pain point that our customers have when ordering dancewear, and we wanted to solve that problem for them, and we realized we needed help doing it. We went through the application process, and then when we got the phone call, it was like, okay, here we go. It's go time. So it was pretty exciting.
My name's Dylan Snyder, co-owner of Beat City Music.
I'm Colleen Gaynor. I'm one of the co-owners of Beat City Music in Olean, New York.
We, on a whim, took out $2,000 each on our credit cards and went for it. And just, we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew that we needed a music shop around here. We sell the basics like new, used, vintage, as well as accessories for pretty much any instrument you need for a band. We do rentals for schools, lessons, as well as we're opening a recording studio soon.
We have also offered some art lessons, like meditative painting, because we feel like art and music are all connected.
Music is our life. We don't really know anything else.
We do have to rein that in and stay focused on making money sometimes too, because we get really excited about
Which is
playing
kind of what
music.
we're figuring out about this whole thing.
Yeah. A little more on the business side. We like to share music. I think music is about sharing, but we also need the money for it too.
My name is Chelsea Freeman. And I'm Laura Lamb, and we are co-owners of Audiology Services of Western New York. I've been practicing for almost 10 years now. Chelsea, you've been practicing for?
Almost 4.
So we are co-workers, that's how we met. We love to help people hear better and feel better with balance disorders and things of that nature. So we kind of came together and decided to start our new practice.
We're in the very initial beginning stages. So we received approval from New York State. We're hoping for a January 1 kickoff or start-off date.
Unfortunately, I was out of service, so we missed our initial phone call. And so Monday morning, we found out we were in, and it was pretty exciting to be part of something, and we knew we'd learn a lot about each other and then also about the other businesses in the cohort.
I am Brooks Anderson. My company is Timber Hut Cabin Company in Great Valley, New York. Timber Hut provides an alternative structure for properties commercially and B2B and B2C. We shifted to PMRVs, which stands for Park Model RVs, that are very nicely appointed. They have power, nice insulation. Some of them have heat and cooling designed to go to resorts and campgrounds, helping our customers monetize blank, empty real estate, essentially. I wanted to commiserate with people in my shoes, guidance in the company of my peers that I could rely on, people who are going through the same types of issues, successes and failures that perhaps I couldn't get at home or anyplace else.
My name is Gabe Bielakowski. I'm the CEO and founder of Ellicottville Greens, and right now we are based in Buffalo, New York, and opening a new headquarters here in Ellicottville. We're an indoor vertical farm, and essentially we take shipping containers, we repurpose them into these microclimate growing environments. We place them in clusters of 10 to grow food year-round. The goal is to create a model where these farms are supplying hyper-local communities, so typically within a 100-mile radius. The biggest issue is transportation and spoilage around produce, so one of the things that we solve by having these hyper-local farms is we kind of eliminate most of that transportation, which thus creates a longer-lasting product. So we heard about the Accelerator through the IDA. I personally really enjoy getting involved in entrepreneurial ecosystems, so it's exciting to be a part of kind of the early stage of bringing up a community. It's something I've always had a passion for.
My name is Andy Skull.
And I'm Dan Skull.
Co-owners of Skull Manufacturing located on West State Street in Olean. We worked together through our adolescence up into our adulthood, found ourselves working for a local manufacturing company. It ended up changing names a few years ago and changing ownership, and then most recently they had closed services in Olean. We earned a lot of skill set in that arena, and we decided that we would act on our own behalf and continue what we knew how to do for ourselves.
It became a model that was something we actually could sustain outside of someone else's workplace.
What our real passion is machining, manufacturing and fabrication clients.
One of the people that had mentored us prior to the Laine program sent us an email and said, you guys should apply for this. We decided to throw a video together, not really with any expectations. It was more, let's see what happens. And it came to fruition quite quickly, actually.
My name is Max Bree. I'm the founder of Delorme. We're the first online community built for college athletes. Last year, the NIL was created name, image, and likeness deals, which allowed athletes to start making money off their names, image, and likeness. We saw a massive opportunity to come in and work with the 99% of athletes at the time that were not making any money. So our athletes have access to a variety of tools, promotions, whether it's mental health, nutritional guidance, it's all on our platform. I was a college athlete myself. During my junior year, I suffered a concussion which left me bedridden, couldn't walk properly, had to learn how to remember things. Really set back to this square one of when I was like 5 years old. Quickly started realizing that maybe lacrosse wasn't going to be the answer, but I knew that if I did get healthy again, I wanted to ensure that no athlete ever felt as alone as I did in those moments. And so creating something like this was a priority for me, but it's something that I understood because I went through this experience, and I knew that with NIL we could really make a difference in a lot of people's lives.
The day started great. The group of people we have, like, we're all connected in some way, our types of business that we have or the problems we're trying to solve. So it was just really inspirational to hear everybody's stories of how they started and a lot of personal stories of like how that affected their business decisions.
I mean, we're all on different levels and different stages of business, and everybody is like super supportive and knows what it's like to be at this level and knows what it's like to be at this level. So everybody wants to help, and we're all in this together.
The C4 students that are working with us should be of great help. They seem to have basic understanding of the industry, but specialize in the areas that we are lacking.
There's nothing small about small business, and so having the support is going to be huge.
We were able to kind of sit down and all learn about each other quite a bit. And we did a tour of Cutco, which was one of the coolest manufacturing plants I've been to with all the robotics. Tons of energy. I think at first people were really feeling it out, but it seemed like right after lunch, and even before, right, people were just really getting into telling their stories.
Everyone was very open, vulnerable. We were able to really get to know each other more than just entrepreneurs, but just people. So we're at 4 Mile Brewery. It's an awesome atmosphere. We're going to have some drinks, and now we can kind of let our guards down and have a good time together.
On day one, we were really trying to introduce them and be able to bring together that relationship. It's relationships that are going to make this work. We have people trust each other, and when people trust, they can actually make things happen. For many of the businesses, the ability to say, hey, you have a student team that's dedicated to working with you, along with a mentor, along with the other things that we're offering, it was a very, very inspiring moment. The students too were in a situation where they were doing something they've never done before. So being able to reach out and potentially impact these businesses and their community, it was an amazing, amazing minute. The students' role in creating the Accelerator and the Innovation Center can't be understated. The first person that pops off my mind is an incredible student, Mackenzie Bush. Mackenzie worked with Tom to actually put together the blueprints for the very first Accelerator model. Another person that was really key to this year was Brianna Shea. The moment I talked to her, she's so darn smart. So Bree became part of this perfect team for C4 and the Accelerator to make it happen. So between Mackenzie and Bree, grad assistant John Bolliard, they were our terrific trio. They could be these prime movers of making the economy grow and specifically help businesses make it happen.
To give students from JCC and St. Bonaventure the opportunity to network. It was really fantastic, and a lot of them were able to help the businesses with their branding and their logos and bring information to the business owners that they didn't have before.
One of the things that we do is a create-a-thon. Our version of a hackathon or a startup weekend. This year, we brought all 9 businesses over to St. Bonaventure's campus, and we paired them with C4 students to jam on their business, to dig into problems and to come up with solutions, all in a very short amount of time. The things that came out of there likely will be the things that transform these businesses.
Business owners are trying to put themselves in their customer's place and think of ideas and problems that the customer is currently having, writing down different things that they understand about the problem. They may actually end up with a solution that they can go take for a new customer targeted audience that they may not have even comprehended before they started this process tonight.
The Create-a-thon was amazing. They had really good ideas. We're all sitting there trying to write stuff down on our Post-it notes.
Really getting to work with my C4 students, it brought ideas that I didn't necessarily think.
These guys came up with it. This whole thing is worth the price of admission here. We took 3 brand new market segments based on brainstorming ideas, developing an action plan, and it makes me want to work harder to solve these issues that Timber Hut currently has.
We're working with Sydney and Allie for finding buyers in the area. Not only small restaurants, but also bigger corporate buyers. It's something that I think they're learning a lot from as well.
The C4 students are incredible. They have tons of skills, and many of the businesses report, after the Accelerator is over, how do we keep them?
Just like Tommy was saying, the immediate goals is just to get that patient in the door.
The energy that was happening was insane. Dr. Palmer, the leaders of C4 and the amazing businesses came up with ideas that implanted the seeds that I really think will have a huge effect on their business long term.
Being in the Accelerator so far, it's high-level training. They're bringing in C-level executives from all over the country, all different types of businesses.
It's really, really helped us to think like business people.
The networking that we had experienced that could help us in ways that we didn't even know we needed help with, unquestionably.
Incredibly valuable experience.
Chelsea and I are not business-oriented people coming into this. Obviously, we're learning along the way.
It's been so interesting to work with all of these different individuals and see how they can apply to our business, how we can help them, how they can help us, and create a bigger picture.
Just to testify that it's been one of the best experiences in my business career, without a doubt. 100% recommend it to anybody at any stage. There's a ton of help out there. You're silly not to take advantage of that.
At 23 years old, to be able to learn from amazing people like Tom, Steve, Bob, and Palmer, to be able to just sit down with them and have these conversations about really anything, personal life, business. There's never a day where I feel like there's no one I can't call or speak to.
Every business, every organization really comes down to the people inside of it. So the culture that we have with the Laine Business Accelerator is really a give first, a people first culture. Understanding what people are really going through and helping them through that. When we're sitting around this table, sometimes it's personal. Those personal things affect our businesses. And if we ignore them, we're really ignoring the problem.
I've been in the corporate world for 30 plus years, so I never thought that way. It's a safe zone. Nobody's judging, nobody's gonna take it back out of here. That lets people, I think, open up, and then they become much more willing to give.
In the past, I've been a judge at 43 North, and ever since then, I just want to take as many people there and show them what's possible. This year, we kind of infiltrated with the Buffalo startup crowd, lots of pitching, everybody was excited.
We're at Shays here in Buffalo, 43 North event. It was 8 different businesses presenting their pitches. What I took from it most is the conciseness of their pitches.
The people that were presenting were just rock stars, really inspiring, and I think that as a group for all of us to kind of leave there with a goal in mind, a great experience.
It was amazing to see these successful businesses getting an opportunity to make their community better, and I think that ties into our business because one of our core values is being in the community.
We met the next morning actually for our cohort, and the overwhelming conversation was the businesses in this room were just as good as the businesses on that stage.
Staying connected to this group is super important to me. It's a big first step in my journey as an entrepreneur, and everyone's unique story has been something that I've learned something from, and it's something I'm never going to forget.
There's just some amazing people in that cohort, and they inspire me, and they've kind of raised us up.
Even though we all have these totally different businesses, we connect with the highs and the lows.
I think a lot of people that are in the program alongside of us, whether they're a new startup or they've been established for many years, they have similar circumstances that apply to ours.
Being in a collaborative space, there was a whole lot less tension. It was a very open, educating atmosphere.
The purpose of this accelerator is really to build this entrepreneur spirit and build this community. I feel like they absolutely accomplished it.
With the first cohort, we did the standard pitch and have a winner. This year, this showcase is really a transformation.
They've dedicated a lot of their time and energy, so this is an opportunity to be thankful for them and to also give them the opportunity to talk through what they've learned. That's why we're here.
Looking forward to kind of show the progress that I've made through the accelerator, where I came in at and where I'm at now, and super excited to show that off.
The showcase is going to allow everybody to really open up, and we're going to see exactly where everybody stands and what they have to offer in the community.
You know, positive vibes.
Selfishly, I'm very excited to see what everybody else has to offer.
I think it's just going to feel amazing. I just think it's going to feel really supportive.
I think it's going to be kind of fun and playful. It's relaxed, but it's serious at the same time, if that makes sense.
It's crazy to think about how far we've come, celebrating all of that hard work, celebrating each one of these businesses, and also showing the community just what we can do and what we're all here for.
It feels really good that everybody's going to be on the Jamestown Community College campus. We're really proud of our campus and of our students and our faculty and staff. It's going to be a really exciting night. Last year's cohort, the first cohort, those 5 business owners bonded because they had that shared experience. And in the end, they had to compete against each other. And I'll be the first person to say, I'm glad I wasn't a judge that night because I was so impressed with all of them. I'm thrilled that this year, they've already won. And why not showcase the best of the best?
Eric left us with not only a spirit of deep love for his community, but also his drive to foster and support those with a passion to keep Olean the beautiful and vibrant place he and Marianne called home.
This vision is why we are all here today, to transform Cattaraugus County into a vibrant, lively startup community.
Without any of you, this year's accelerator would not be happening right now.
Tonight, what you're going to hear, 9 businesses that went through 13 weeks of intense training, were together, got to know each other, became a family.
All 9 businesses are going to pitch. They get 3 to 5 minutes, a little bit about where they're headed in their transformation throughout the course of the Laine Accelerator.
I remember just being called up on stage. I was definitely nervous, but when I got up on stage, I just knew that I just needed to have fun with it. Seeing all my cohort members smiling at me while I was up there really just eased the tension. Such an exhilarating thing, and I remember my last little sentence. It was an amazing feeling.
I'm here to disrupt a $2 billion industry while changing thousands of lives along the way. Thank you very much.
So we started this as a hobby many years ago. We had really limited capacity, minimal equipment. It was an outlet of expression mostly for us. Even if there's some nerves on stage, it felt natural after the initial surge.
Now the only real difference between these two pictures is that my dimples have gotten a little bit bigger and the projects have gotten a little bit dustier. By the time the day came around, we were all very well prepared and it was just natural, I guess. It's just fun to talk about, and when you're like super passionate about something, it makes it very easy to talk about.
And if you're ever looking for something to help your body and soul, this is it.
I just felt really proud, not just about us, but like of everyone in our cohort. And I felt so proud of Kylie too, because she was the youngest person on that stage and you wouldn't have known it.
We are the co-owners of Audiology Services of Western New York, a brand new audiology practice with 2 locations in Olean and Wellsville, New York. It was such an exciting day just to see the support from the community and the other members of the cohort, all the hard work that they put in. It was a lot of fun.
Just to see all that hard work pay off and everyone did a great job. It was really fun.
So we straightened out the numbers, realized obviously with building it ourselves we saved a lot of money, so our profit margins are pretty healthy. We're able to grow the year-over-year unit.
Everybody who is like a business mind in the area seemed to be there, right? And as soon as you got up there and you have your slides in the background, it was fun to get up there and talk about your business and your story.
Everything about what we're doing here is helping us, and ultimately we're going to be able to help the community grow.
Interestingly enough, I was more nervous and rattled by the rehearsals we had prior to that, because at the same time I was in the middle of preparing for a presentation for our #1 customer. When I got a chance to get up on stage and speak to the audience, speak to my cohort, it was a lot of fun. And I really wanted to tell this story.
We just started talking and said, hey, let's open a music store. And oh, cool, yeah, let's do it.
We actually learned a lot more from the other presenters as well, just like how they were presenting. That calmed you down a little bit and you're like, well, I'm just gonna try and do it like Max does it.
Yeah.
and it was like, well, just do that.
And we're very proud of our business, so it kind of made it a little bit easier. But we're used to being on stage too.
So now these businesses actually get something that they've been working hard for the last 13 weeks. Skull Manufacturing, come on up. Western New York Audiology Services. Parker, come on up. Raise the Bar Woodwork. Beat City Music. TJ, Wolfpack Storage. Max, Valorum. Neighborhood School of Dance. Ellicottville Greens. Luis and Gabe. Brooks.
The inaugural winner of the Jim Stitt Community Builder of the Year Award.
Beat City Music.
The after party at the Hub was kind of the highlight of it because the pressure was off from the presentations. It was a really cool vibe.
It was wild to see the amount of support that came out from the community to be out there that day. Yeah.
From the time you exited the auditorium, the walk across the street to the Hub, there was people everywhere. That was what was surprising for me.
People were excited to come up and talk about my product, about my process, my company. One thing that I learned that when somebody is actively interested in your story, you tell them that story and do so proudly. Looking back on it, I had no ability to ask the right people for the right kind of help. And that was a huge mental shift. Since December, we've doubled our workforce. I have more people to take care of, so I need help. And I'm happy to ask for that help now.
What I took away from the Accelerator is to know how to pivot, how to keep going and not give up.
The problem solving that we gained from the Accelerator, I see that a lot in how we run our business now. Once a week, we're sitting down together doing what's called a level 10 meeting. We pivot a lot.
We gained a lot of information and techniques that we could use to find the high priority issues, prioritizing techniques of handling heavy workloads.
How to view your finances from estimate to invoice to order to out the door had the biggest impact on me for sure.
Where we're at with the website is where we've wanted to go. We just didn't know how to get there, and so this whole process has really helped us hone in on exactly what we wanted to do. We applied to the Cattaraugus County Micro Enterprise Grant to help us with the photography equipment, so that was huge. We did a photo shoot a couple weekends ago for an Easter photo shoot, and we had 8 people show up, so it's starting, and we're super excited to have this other revenue stream for our business.
I was able to kind of figure out what I'm super passionate about, and at the end of the day, that's just working with my hands. In the last 3 months, I've actually become super close to my former high school tech teacher, and we're going to implement a curriculum into schools and homeschools where we get kids actively engaged with the fundamentals of hands-on learning.
Biggest thing that I took from the Accelerator, taking complete ownership of your business, really putting yourself first and making sure that you have your schedule and your priorities in order so that your business can follow suit.
Don't be overwhelmed by the time commitment. If there's a will, there's a way, and this is definitely worth the time.
I think it was one of the greatest experiences, so instrumental to us developing our company.
If you're not investing in your business, you have to make time for it.
Because of the confidence that I built for myself and our company, I would be surprised if we do not make $5 million in revenue this year, which is 5 times what we did last year. There is never not enough time for the Laine Business Accelerator. I don't think you can afford not to apply.
I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. It has a massive startup ecosystem. And I look at Laine, New York, and I look at the accelerator that we have here, and I'm so proud to talk about this accelerator and this community here. Not because it's the biggest, not because it's the fanciest, but because there's the best sense of community. When you're with that cohort, not only the businesses, but the mentors, you have a community that you can rely on. Honestly, it's going to be super hard to kind of say goodbye to these people because this community has kind of taken me in and supported me and been so kind.